Hello friends, hope everybody's doing well. Okay, so before I start the next video coming up here, some of you know about my eyes, the trouble that I'm having, and I want to give you an update on that, which is not very good news, but at any rate, the Thursday before last, Miss Lisa took me up to get my monthly eye injection in my right eye. That was on a Thursday. So Friday I felt okay, had a little pain. Sunday I felt okay, or Saturday I felt okay, had a little pain. Sunday morning I woke up, I couldn't see out of my right eye, and I had a lot of pain. So Miss Lisa took me back up to the doctor on Monday. He took one look at my eye, and you should have seen the look on his face. And then he had a quick rush us to a retina specialist. What happened was I got an infection in my right eye here. And the retina specialist had to draw some fluid out of my eye. This doesn't sound good, I know, but he had to draw some fluid out of my eye to make room to give me 2 heavy antibiotics. He had to inject 2 heavy antibiotics in my eye. And I'm sorry, I'm just a little shook up with this going on here. And so since then, he told me that if the antibiotics doesn't work, I'm going to have to go in for emergency surgery. So from then, I had to go see him every day. But it turns out that I'm starting to regain a little bit at a time my eyesight, and he said that my eye is doing really good. He said the infection will go away, but it might take some time for me to regain whatever poor eyesight that I have to begin with. He said it might take days, might take a week. He's not really sure, but everything's doing pretty good so far. I just want to mention, if you want to, you can still comment me. I may just give you a love and a like. I may not be able to reply to your comments as it stands right now. And also, I'm very behind on watching your videos. I'm about a week behind. But if I don't leave a comment, I always leave a like. So I'm going to try to start today on watching some videos today. I don't want to take up any more time here, but before this happened, I was able to make 2 videos. I did make 2 videos, in which one of them you're going to see coming right up here, and I'll do the best I can. As my eyes get better, I'll make some more videos. And like I said, you could comment me. You're still going to get a love and a like, but I most likely can't comment you back. If I can, I will. But thanks for your time, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Hello friends, I hope everybody's doing well. Okay, so in part 1, we took care of the magneto. This is the magneto I took off the previous project here, and we cleaned it up real good. I took it apart, I cleaned up the points, regapped the points, put some grease on the lobe in there. I explained how this worked real quick. Okay, so in today's video, what I want to do is, I have the gas tank off the 54, and I have this fuel line set up here that we took off the 1961 Postal, because I put that back to original with the steel line and sediment bowl. I degreased the tank real quick here, and there was a lot of rust in the tank, and I shook it out, and then I blew air in through the bottom here where the port is, the outlet port. I blew air in there, and I was able to get all the rust out of there. I don't know how good this tank is, but it was on the 54, and the 54 ran at that time before we ended up stealing all the parts off it. So, okay, so whoever worked on this last was nice enough to leave. There's a bushing here, and there's a nut and a bolt that holds this band together, which is good, and the same on this side here. A lot of times I don't want to take the nut and bolt out off this band because it's real hard to squeeze together to get the nut and bolt back in. So in the meantime here, there's a nut and bolt here that holds this band on. So I loosened up the nut and bolt a lot here so we could squeeze the tank up in there. I did the same on this side here, and we'll see if we can get the tank on there. And I have the fuel line set up here, which I think you just saw. And what I want to do today is I want to get this back together, and I want to run it for a while and see how it runs. So let me get set up here, and then I'll start installing the gas tank, and then we'll throw the fuel line in there, and then we'll put some gas in it and see if it'll run. I mean, we only heard it run from the two-stroke mix I put in the spark plug hole the last time, so it ran for about 3 seconds or whatever it was. So let me get set up and I'll be right back to you. Okay, so let me see if I can weasel this tank back in here without a problem. There was a dent in the tank. So what I'm doing is, I mean, we didn't paint the tank or anything like that, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the tank on backwards so it doesn't have the dent in it. This is the smoother side. The tank does look like a hunk of junk. I don't know if somebody patched this or something, but I know the tank didn't leak. But let's see if we can commence getting this tank in without too much problems. And then I'm just sticking the sticking where you put the gas in it. You know, up through the hole, there's a hole in the shroud here. So, and then this band has to get tucked in the top of the shroud here. Easier said than done, but let's see what happens here. You can't really even see what I'm doing here, but oh, I got this one band on. I'll show you what I did after we the important thing is I want to just listen to this thing run for a while. We'll probably end up having to adjust the carburetor, probably. So, yeah, this part went on pretty easy here. Okay, so deciding what I want to tighten up first. Alright, now I gotta find the ratchet. Oh, it's over here. I think I'm going to tighten up the support here that holds the band on. Let me make sure that you're in pretty much view here. Yeah, I think so. We're going to be working down below here a little bit now. Yeah. Okay, so the easiest way I found to do this part is I'm using a 1/4 inch ratchet with a 1/4 inch socket, which is a 7/16 socket. Does that make sense? It's a little tight quarters here, but let me get this ratchet going here. And then I'm using a 7/16 socket on this 3/8 ratchet. I think it'd be best to just tighten this up first. It's a little bit tight to get in here, but I don't know if I should have tightened up the band first. Maybe. I'll just hold this in with my thumb. I might have to move the camera here. Let me just tighten this up. Because I'm sure everything got bent up on here and everything when they removed the tank. Put you over here. And now I'm just tightening up the band here. I'll try to hold this in while I do it. Need 3 hands for this, but I'm wondering if I should just, I think I'm going to loosen that back up again. The whole band support here, I might just loosen that up again. And now I'll tighten up the band on here and I'll do the other side. And then I'll show you when I'm done. Okay, so the band, if you see here, it gets tucked in to the shroud here. And yeah, it's the easiest way to do it was to tighten up the band here first. I tightened that up. It's very important that you have a spacer in here, which I could still move. I really shouldn't be able to move that, but I don't know, maybe I could tighten that up a little more. And the reason why, and then I went ahead and I tightened up the nut and the bolt that supports this band, this bracket, whatever you want to call it. Over here, in here, the shroud comes out like this, so you can't get a wrench on there, and that's why I used the 1/4 inch ratchet. It just made things easier to tighten it up. So, alright, so I'm just going to go over this over here one more time here, because I can move this spacer here. And then we'll put the fuel line in it, and then we'll put some gas in it, and we'll see if it fires up, and we can keep it running. I might have to do a carburetor adjustment while we're at it too. So I'll see you in a couple of seconds. Okay, so I have the like I said, I have the fuel setup from the one we took off the 61 Postal here. So what we're going to do is I'll begin by putting on this this fitting here has to go on first. And I don't remember if it was the 7/16. or a 1/2 inch wrench. We need it for this 7/16. I think that's good. We're not going around again. It's quite simple. With this, I put a fuel shut off on it instead of using one of those gas tank shut offs that has the if you saw the ones I bought, and you just close it by turning the boozy watchy there. It's like a petcock. We just push this around a little bit here. We'll hook this up to the metal line, which I'm using off the 61. And I think that's on there pretty good. I'll tighten up this clamp, then we'll tighten up that clamp. And then I guess we'll just throw some gas in it and see how it does. I know I probably have my big head in the way here, but it's a 1/4 inch socket I'm using for the clamp. I think we're good there. Yeah, I still got to service the air cleaner, the shipper shaft deal that I mentioned on part 1. I got to see if I can find that trunnion block that I explained in part 1. But I'm going to try to start it up and run it without putting anything in there for now. Now I could only hope that this clamp's not stripped, because it already feels like it is. It's probably those crappy Harbor Freight clamps I probably used on this. And they are crap, let me tell you. Let me see. Oh boy. I think I got the fuel line on there good enough to where I won't leak, but that clamp has to be changed. There's no kink in the line, so it should be fine. So we'll give it a try. I'll put some gas in it, and we'll see if we can get this thing to fire up, I guess. I think I may take, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put gas in it, and I'm going to take the bottom bowl bolt out to see if we have gas flow. Make sure we have gas flow, and then we can try to start it up. So I'll be back again. Okay, so I have a coffee can here. I just take this plug out and see if things are flowing good. I turned the gas on. Oh, yeah, it's flowing. I'm going to stick this plug back in, if I can. Oh, yeah, I got it back in. Okay, we'll tighten that up. We'll give it a start and see if she starts. And I'll get the necessary tools in case we have to adjust the carburetor here. Okay, cool. That's pretty good. Yeah, maybe he did a good job on doing the carburetor rebuild on it. As I mentioned in the previous video in part 1, he said he rebuilt this carburetor. I think he did because it looks so clean too. Okay, so what we're gonna need is, I'll go grab the 1/2 inch wrench and the 5/16 wrench and the screwdriver. put the gas cap back on too while we're at it here. All right, let me get in a position here where yeah, you can kind of see what's going on here now. Yeah, I hooked up the battery too. Let's give it a whirl here. This doesn't have a choke cable, it just has a manual choke here. So we'll choke it, we'll give it some fuel. I give it some throttle rather. And here we go, we're at it. I didn't tighten up the battery terminals on there, and it's giving me a problem. So what else is new? Let me just tighten up the one terminal there. Sorry about this, guys and girls. I did have to put a new terminal, the positive terminal on. It was no good in part one, so I replaced it. I had a new one. So on the stall. Seems to have oil pressure. I don't like the fact of starting it up without the PTO shaft in there though. Got an oil pressure gauge, the gauge is buried. I'm in your way. Smoking a little bit, but yeah, on the gas idle jet adjustment, I went one and a half turns out, but I could have been wrong. Maybe it's 2.5. I forgot what it was, and that's how I shot it. So it ran on choke, and as I rigged it up, I could start taking the choke off. And I turned it out a little more, took the choke all the way off, and it seems to be running all right on its own. the throttle's acting wacky. I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe I didn't tighten up the throttle straight enough. I don't know, something's smoking. I don't know if it's just smoking from not running for so long or it's leaking oil somewhere. I'm not really sure right now. Alright, so let me set the throttle here. Some. I don't know if this rod... Oh, maybe this wasn't tight. Because this is the let's not tighten anything up people I got this from. That's what's probably going on here. No, that's tight. Alright, so I think this was my bad. I don't think I tightened up the where the rod goes in here. I don't think I tightened it up enough before. So we got the bent handlebar. I dug one out of the back. I'll probably have to change this out. It's gonna be a pain in, well, if I take this, yeah, if I just take this one shield off here, I might be able to get in there. And then I have the handle for the remote PTO. And it has a bracket, so I'll just might as well put that on there too. The handle I have for it is this crummy gray paint that's on the tank because everything was off the 54. Yeah, I'm gonna use the handle off the 54. So I don't know, there's oil seeping somewhere into the exhaust, or I don't know what. Alright, let me start it up again and see how it is. Yeah, I think I got the throttle rod tight enough. Yeah, that was my bad on that one. Reverse and forward do work. So that's pretty cool. We got old oil in both of the tractors, the second project and the first one. We're going to go back to the first project, and I still got to put the back battery mount them and everything. We got to work on that. And I have one of the blood locks that came with the two tractors that I worked on a little bit. I just put the blade on the one that had the guards on it. And we're going to service it. I didn't even try it yet. But I think before we try it, I'll make sure that it works, and then we'll service it. I'll pump the old gear oil out and put some new gear oil in it, and just grease that one fitting on there, and then we can try it in the field. The oil pressure gauge is buried and I don't know if it's stuck. See if the oil pressure comes down. I don't know. There might have just been oil. Oh, you know what too? When we were preparing this, I sprayed a lot of WD-40 into the spark plug hole, and then we put the two-stroke mix in there. And I'm hoping that it doesn't smell like engine oil, but I don't know if this gauge, I'm pretty sure this gauge was on 0 when we started off. I don't know if it just stuck. Might have just got stuck, I don't know. I do have another oil pressure gauge. Yeah, it came down some. It doesn't go all the way down to 0 or low. It's like up in the red mark here, son. Oh yeah, there it goes. It's going down now. Alright, let me start it up to see if we have oil pressure. If it goes back up again. I'm not sure. I don't know. I have no idea when these things ran last. But it runs pretty good. It runs really good. I was talking to my friend, Richard Applegate. And yeah, he has a channel. I was talking to him. He has a 1930 Model A Ford. And he has a generator on it. But somebody put a 12-volt battery in it. He told me that if you have a 12-volt battery on here, it won't hurt the generator, but won't show any charging unless you have a 6-volt battery on. Then it will show if it's charging or not. As a matter of fact, he's bringing me his 12-volt battery because I have that one dead battery we've been fighting with. And the battery I'm using now, I stole off the 67 because we don't have to worry about that till snowplow season. So he's going to give me the good 12-volt battery. He's going to take my battery that's dead as a core. He's going to go buy a 6-volt battery. But I just thought I would point that out about the generator because I was wondering if the generator worked. And we'll have no way of knowing because I'm not going out to buy a 6-volt battery. I always run these on with 12-volt batteries here. So let's see if the oil pressure gauge works. Yeah, it's working. Alright, so I'm not liking running this without the PTO shaft in there for one thing. Yeah, I'm surprised. This one runs good too. It's a winner. Let's see. The last one was good. The one before that we had to do the engine work on. I stole the engine off the 54 and I had to rebuild the top end. It's very rare that you don't have to at least change the rings or anything. I have a funny feeling the owner before the last guy I got these from started the project and never finished them. I just have a funny feeling with that. But I don't know if I'm going to end this one now. I want to take the handlebar that we're going to be using on the left side that's bent, and I'd like to throw a quick paint job on that. And I don't know if I want to make a video of installing that, or I'm not sure yet. It's all up in the air. But just in case, thanks for joining me on part 2 here. I appreciate all of you. Thanks for getting me over 1,000 now subscribers. That's pretty cool. It's 1,070 I think now. I appreciate all of you. Even if you're just a viewer, I appreciate it. Yeah, this got fixed up too quick, really. The gas tank's not leaking, that's a good sign. I don't know what we're going to do with this one. I don't know what we're going to do with the 57. Hard to keep. I like to keep this one with the generator on it and stuff. But then I like to keep them all. So, in part 1, I did get comments. I put up another shed. Keep them, keep the tractors, keep them. Yeah, I'd love to keep them, but you got to go buy tarps every 2 months. My friend went out and paid $60 at Home Depot for a tarp, right? So when I was doing the spring cleanup here, he's down at the end here. I was doing the spring cleanup, and I got to his section over there. He goes, yeah, he told me this a while ago. Yeah, you got to spend the money and get a good tarp. Well, he spent $60 for the tarp's ripped already. Looks like the sun got to it, and then the cold and the hot and the this and the that, and it's just like dry rotted and ripped already. I'm like, oh, come on, man, where are you going to get a good tarp at? And you paid $60 for it, you know? I don't know what I paid. These are like $5 or $6 that I pay for the 9x11 or whatever they are. yeah, so in case I end this, thanks again for watching. I'll see you all on the next one. If I continue, I continue. So, take care, everybody.